Alright guys, I'm doing a video with the electric window conversion that I purchased from NPD. Tell you some of the things that I've found that hopefully can save you some effort when you go about doing this. This is probably about my third time of putting this all together. So what I've got here is I've already got the two in the doors installed. This is the motor for the quarter window. I've already taken the quarter windows out, previous video, and replaced the rollers on those, cleaned up the tracks, got those back in. You can look at one of my other videos. So already got the electric scissors in here, and once you get it in and you get the window all back in there, you're stuck with you can only operate it electrically. So you're gonna have to rig up a switch system, purchasing one or rigging your own up, or doing a temporary, which I can show you how to do that. One of the reasons I got it all together and had to take it apart was this back track here. I didn't bother to take out. That was a big mistake because it was just loaded full of old grease, and pretty simple to do. This bolt. There's a bolt back in here, and then the adjustment there. Those three bolts come out to clean up that track real easy. So definitely recommend you doing that. I'm actually going to have to take apart the other door again and do that because I didn't in the first one I did. So first, as far as switches go, first set of switches I ordered, $220 some from NPD, so 14527-2A. Thought it'd be a good idea. It's got the 4 switch on the driver's door, and then each window has its own independent switch. Nicely set up wiring loom. You're all good to go with all that. My problem was, and this is the passenger door, not the driver's door, but when you look at this switch, first off, they don't give you a template, so there is no way of putting the switch into this area. I mean, depending on how your interior panels are, if you do something custom, but I mean, you're going to cut out a major portion of metal to get that thing to work, and I just decided not to go that route, and decided to go with these much more expensive switches. This is the 14529-10A. These are $145 a piece instead of $220 for the force windows. So this is a very nice, heavy, nicely built switch unit. Comes with a little bit of wiring, and it comes with the directions on how to wire it, where things are going to go. So these motors are reversible DC motor. So I'm kind of scratching my head on how to wire it to do it myself. Very minimal instructions. I mean, they give you could barely read it, even if it wasn't through a camera here. The installation instructions, there's some measurements, this and that, but doesn't tell you where to install it, how to install it necessarily. So what I did, my first step was to make a template out of cardboard and poke the holes where they need to be. Put an arrow the direction of that the wires go, so they all kind of aim the same direction there. So then I went ahead and got that all drilled out, installed, and come to find out that once I had it all installed, it's not going to work because this is your switch, got the wires. I had it aiming so the wires were going forward this way. So that meant this is kind of cocked in that direction. Now I didn't catch it until I tried to put the electric window brackets back on. There is a little step that goes around, it bridges across the top of this, but it's not enough. It's too, the switch is too deep. So the next thing I'm going to do is drill 3 new holes and get the line to the back of the switch to be perpendicular with the line of the mounting bracket for the door scissors. So that's where we're at for now. Okay, now we got the switch installed, which really the purpose of this whole video is to explain that you got to get the switch installed first, because you're not going to be able to get this guy underneath this window actuator scissors unit is going to interfere with you getting your hands in there at all. So you got to install this switch first if you're going with this style of switch. And of course, nothing's ever easy on these cars. You can see I didn't get it quite centered. My template was right, but you're drilling on these edges that are, it's curved. So drill didn't go quite exactly where I needed it to go, and I was trying to round out this one here like I had done here, try to expand it a little bit, and I hadn't taken the switch out completely out of the way. Ended up drilling into the plastic in one of those pieces. But good thing is it goes all the way through, and I drilled out a good section of the threads in the plastic. So you also know that these are just drilling into plastic. The threads are plastic, so I don't want to over torque that. But it also goes all the way through, so I was going to put a nut on the back with the lock washer, but it's actually the threads go all the way through, so I cut the threads way in the back here. I replaced this screw with just a longer Phillips head. So on the next issue. Alright, so you know how I said you can't get the switch in without taking everything else out? Well, after I got everything in, got it wired up, and come to find out that it would go up just beautifully and it wouldn't come down at all. So luckily this is my first side that I'm wiring, and so I was able to take the switch out. So make sure you leave yourself enough wires. I kind of cut myself short on the blue and black wires that go to the motor here. I wish I would have left myself another 6 inches. So I had to do a little jumper to make that so I can get it all the way out. But rather than taking everything completely out of the door again, I was able just to disconnect the 4 bolts, the nuts and bolts here and here, and then by doing that and having it still connected here, I'm actually able to slide the motor far enough away and swing it out so I can get to the switch back in the back there. So if you didn't put that switch in first, that's what you're going to need to do. Alright, so here we got everything put back together with everything working correctly. Probably need a little tweaking, but that's the general gist of it. Okay, I told you that I would be showing you how to wire a temporary switch, and if you want to make it permanent, you can expand on that a little bit. We got a double pull, double throw switch, momentary, with on being up and down. So what you've got is the blue and black leads from the motor going to the center. Then you've got the power, positive or negative, going to here. I've got them hooked up on the bottom. That this kind of a jerry-rigged on this side here, but really this is the better way of doing it, with the crimp on with the circle instead of the spade or the forked. So then from there you've got jumpers crisscrossing on the back going to the other side of each side. So get this into position here without electrocuting myself. But you've got yeah, it's hard to do with one hand. Pushing down goes down, well, depending which way you're calling, down and up. And then, so that's the simple way of doing it. I got a $5 switch. I got it from partsexpress.com. So once again, power goes to one side, jumpers go to the crisscross, go to the other side, and your load comes off the middle. And that should be it.